Hey guys, it's Blair here. I'm here to do a video today about a writing technique and talk to you about Nano Eve, because it's Nano Eve here in Australia, which means after midnight I can start my novel. So what I've been doing today, I've continued working on my previous novel or novella that I've been writing for school. Now that's assessment is well and truly over, but I still want to continue working on it. So, just gonna let you guys know I have a cold, so let's go with that. So I've been working on that, and kind of catching that up to the point that I'm happy to end it tonight, and come back to it with either a new novella that ties in with it, or the second half of this one. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work, because there's a really large story. It seems to be growing exponentially. The more I write, the more depth it has, I guess, and that's what happens when you start writing novels, especially NaNoWriMo. You just, start with something and write 50k, and then afterwards it just expands. So, I'm really excited about Nano starting in, God knows what time it is, maybe it's like 5 o'clock at night right now. I tried filming some videos before. A book haul is coming, and I wrap up. And so I just want to share with you a quick writing technique that you can use. I want to put a very quick disclaimer that this technique does not condone in any way, shape or form, or rather it just does not condone, correct grammar here, plagiarism, but I have learnt this technique in the past myself, used it in the past, and I don't think it's any different to using prompts, as in, using books that have prompts in them, or online references that have prompts. So you guys can make up your own mind about whether you feel comfortable using this technique or not, but I'm offering you guys 2 different ways to do it. There's a variety of ways which I'm, going to be learning myself, through Nano. But I thought I'd show you a fiction and a non-fiction interpretation of this. So I thought to do the non-fiction first, considering it's much more accessible and probably has a little bit of leeway with sort of expanding and not feeling like you're taking someone else's work when you're not, even though I'm not. I know I'm trying to stress this enough, but it's very important. So, another way that I've learned to develop prompts in the past has been to obviously read books that have prompts in them about writing. But because this year I've been doing a lot of self-learning and a lot of learning at school, I've learned to really take note of things that I've learned in books, like quotes or passages, and I've even learned to integrate them into self-motivation and self-questioning. So here's an example of a book that I have, which I'm actually reading currently. It's called The Dark Side of the Light Chasers, Reclaiming Your Power, Creativity, Brilliance and Dreams by Debbie Ford. And what I would do with this is I would say, there's quotes in it that I've done. There's quotes that I've actually quite enjoyed. Now, one of the quotes that I just sort of bookmarked for easy reference is, "My dream was to be perfect in order to be loved." Now, this is just a non-fiction book that talks about life, and, the dark side and the shadow side of life, and the light side, and integrating both parts of yourself and both parts of your psyche to become a whole, authentic, true self. But you could use that first sentence in a way that could actually kickstart your stories. Now, what I was recommended by my teachers, and I was learning this technique, is that you can either use that line to as a prompt to start with, and then delete it afterwards, because as long as it's not in print, you're not using it, not plagiarizing it, you're not doing anything wrong. Or you could just use parts of it, and which I'm going to be talking a little bit more about in the fiction section. But also, one of the great things about these kind of books, especially sort of New Age, spiritual, they're almost like workbooks, like self-development workbooks, is that a lot of the times they have questions in them. And this book, in the first chapter that I'm working through, or it's actually not, second chapter, it actually has a list of questions to journal about. And I thought this was really fascinating because oftentimes, you know, I pull out prompts and stuff from prompt books. But you could also interpret these for your characters. For example, what is the biggest lie I have told myself? Or, what am I most afraid of? Or, what could stop me from doing the work necessary to transform my life? Now, you can either write about that in context of your writing and go deeper into, you know, the actual understanding of your process, or you can use it for your characters. This is just another way to expand your thinking and your comprehension of reading as well. And, you know, I think we read a lot and don't take in as much as we could, especially when it comes to reading non-fiction books if you're a non-fiction reader. And when they say, you know, everything is, you know, grained for the growing the, you know, making the bread and putting the stuff in the oven and making, you know, hot toast kind of thing. I think it's important to not overlook these things that are right in our faces as tools and techniques to both inspire and provoke thoughts and really get us thinking about our characters in our novel and the underlining themes. Now, I know Nano is definitely a time where you just write. That is the whole idea of Nano. You just write, and don't think too much about it. But I do think along the way, you know, you are thinking about it subconsciously, and sometimes just pulling something out of a book is really helpful for when you're not quite sure of the undertones of the story itself. I know that I've felt sometimes when my story has seemed very surface level, and I just can't get past the surface, and it's blocking me. And it's usually because my characters aren't emotive enough, or they're not going through something that's challenging them and pushing them forward. So I kind of look at these books and go, okay, well, what can I do about my characters? You know, what do my characters fear? How can I transform their lives into something different, or anything like that? And again, you know, this quote too, what you don't own owns you. Quite simply, it could just be, you put on a post-it note, what is owning my character? You don't have to write it down straight away. It can be it can be a subconscious thing that you're looking at going, okay, what is owning my character? And as you write, that the truth of that will come out in your writing. And to be able to give that ebb and flow and work with that energy and subconsciously, you know, concoct those ideas and bring them together is really important in writing as well. I think is definitely important in writing. And I just love that idea. I love it. And I am yet to actually use it in its full context in the span of NaNoWriMo. But it's definitely something that has helped my writing immensely in all avenues, whether it's non-fiction or fiction. So in the same vein, or light, I guess you can say, you know, you've got your, oh no, got stuck to some blue tack. You've got your fiction book. So, for example, I'm just going to pull out a line, like, this had never happened before. Easy. How can you plagiarize that? You can't plagiarize that at all. But you can turn it into something completely different, you know. This has never happened before, or this has happened before, or what is going to happen now, you know, or something, you know, that was a very vague example, but that's what you can do. You can pull one-liners and use it to just really get the momentum going, get it going, whether you just write in journal or, you know, 10-minute sprints where you just go, okay, this is what the first line is going to be, and I'm going to go off that and run on a tangent. Or, for example, what's the line? My heart sank for him. Again, you know, I think you guys pretty much get the message of what I'm trying to say. But use your fiction books. The reason why I do post-it note too is to refer back to the parts of the novel that I really enjoyed And the quotes that really captured my attention and made me want to reread and reread them over and over again, because they made me feel something. They touched me in a way that drew me into the reading experience rather than pushed me out of it. And that's what you want to do as a writer as well. You want to draw yourself in. You want to seduce yourself with your novel. Let's get serious here. That's what you're doing. You're seducing your inner artist and, exploring different parts of your own psyche and what you've gathered through your life. And, that is the beauty of writing. That truly is the beauty of writing, to be able to, use it as a culmination of all the things that you love about words and about writing and about language. And, that's how we as readers and as writers become to love writing, because somewhere in some part of our life we're reading or have read a book that's made us want to write. I guess some people do it for fame, but I don't know about you guys, but I do it because I love it. And, I couldn't think of doing anything else. That's my life purpose, to write. I just know it. So, that was a writing technique and tip. That is where I'm at with my sort of writing at the moment. I'm going to do a little bit more writing today. I think I've done 1,500 words so far today, which is pretty good. I'm happy with that. Just wanted to have a few practice sessions before, the Nano actually started. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful in some way, shape, or form. Oh my god, I really need to stop saying that. One thing I learned about class was not to say that, but I still say it all the time. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic eve, whenever it is Halloween over your way. And I will be back tomorrow for some more prompts, a daily reading, and my first word count of the day, and of November 2014. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all. Happy Halloween and good luck to you. Bye.